Bloody hell, it's happened again. Nintendo just randomly dropped another mini trailer for Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. Again. Yeah, they did the exact same thing last week, releasing a small sub 1 minute video telling us of some unseen chronicles from 100 years ago, during the Age of Calamity. This time focused more towards the Yiga clan and their role in the Calamity and their general goal in life, which is super interesting if you ask me. And like last week, with a small trailer showcase sort of thing, there are some points of question, confusion, and mystery. So I'm going to break the trailer down scene by scene, analyze each shot, and hopefully answer some of the mysteries and questions in this little showcase. Be sure to go grab yourself a snack or drink and send them in on social media to get featured on the video next time. And like last week, allow me to play out the full trailer first and then get into the analysis. Enjoy.
Look what you did! Well, I don't mind. The stupendous chief of the Yiga clan, Master Koga, is gonna kill you all to death!
So as we saw at the beginning, it opens up with Master Koga laughing at presumably Link and saying, "Look what you did." And right off the bat, I noticed something here. Master Koga has an awesome voice. I know a lot of people, for some reason which I don't see personally, hate the English voice acting in Breath of the Wild, but I don't care what you say this time. Master Koga's voice is freaking awesome. Koga then poofs away in Yiga fashion, and the trailer cuts to the next scene. Here is a familiar location being bombarded with Yiga soldiers. Don't recognize it? Well, take a closer look at the backdrop. See it now? Yup, that's the Great Plateau 100 years ago, meaning this encounter with the Yiga clan takes place at the outpost ruins we see in Breath of the Wild. Just not being ruins during this time frame, obviously. If we get this close to the Great Plateau, could we potentially get to play on the Great Plateau? We'll have to wait and see. In this initial shot, we can see Link, Princess Zelda, Juggy the Sheikah droid, and a few Hyrulean soldiers all back to back, watching the agile Yiga clan close in on them. As the scene progresses, we quickly learn that the group are completely surrounded, with no escape, implied by the Yiga foot soldiers and Blade Master atop a roof. We then hear a voice say, "Well, I don't mind." I can't personally tell who that is, but I think that this is actually the Blade Master talking, and not a background clip of Koga from the previous scene. It could be either, but the second voice sounds a little different to me. This could just be me tweaking and all of this excitement, but I think it is a different voice. We then see Link confronting the Blade Master by going face to face, blade to blade, with him forcing the Blade Master back by doing a bunch of acrobatic back handsprings into a backflip, giving us a greater idea of the athleticism of these Blade Masters. Something different from Breath of the Wild, as in that game they tend to take the slow and steady approach in combat, with quick small bursts of speed and power. One more really interesting detail I noticed here is that the Blade Master has a little thing, or things above his helmet. The Blade Masters we see in Breath only have one, whereas this Blade Master has two. I forget the name of what they're called, but I do know they can be and have been used to signify the hierarchy of an army, possibly meaning this Blade Master is the chief if you like, the one below Master Koga but above all else, and I'll explain why in one of the next scenes. He then poofs away and the scene cuts to Master Koga again. We then see the Yiga leader say,
"The stupendous chief of the Yiga clan, Master Koga!"
Something important to note here is that this isn't likely the same Master Koga from the Age of the Wild. It's not common knowledge, but the Creating a Champion book actually states that Koga is an inherited title, meaning the Koga in Breath of the Wild and Koga in Age of Calamity are likely different people, just wearing the inherited clothing and using the inherited title given to the Yiga Master. Also, meaning there has likely been quite a few Master Kogas over the years. Also, explaining why the Master in Age of Calamity actually appears intimidating and strong, whilst the Breath of the Wild Koga is a bit of a joke in terms of an actual leader. The trailer then cuts to arguably the most interesting point. We see Master Koga in the leader's room of the Yiga clan hideout, the room we visit before fighting Koga in Breath of the Wild. We see Koga in the same Blade Master from earlier, shown by his tassel things above his head, confirming this is Koga's second-hand man, but more interestingly, we see a mysterious cloaked figure to the side, using their staff, which we will see more of shortly, in the room. This person is the focal point here. Who are they? What are they doing with Master Koga and the Yiga? Are they behind the Calamity? Are they Zonai? Just kidding, they're not Zonai, I won't go there. A few smaller details of interest in this scene are the new Yiga sword we see the Blade Master wielding. Perhaps this is a blade given to the higher up Yiga soldiers, as I've been hinting at all video. We also see Koga pondering and possibly planning. He then half turns his head to the Blade Master, almost as if they are discussing a plan of action. If so, likely assisted by this mysterious character. The trailer then cuts back to Koga preparing for battle, possibly right after the previous scene. We see him preparing himself with soldiers behind him, spotlight on him and all, and saying,
He's gonna kill you all to death.
My guess is that this is likely before we fight Master Koga. Thinking about it now, possibly as Urbosa, as we saw in one of the recent Nintendo Treehouse events that during a level as Urbosa and Princess Zelda, we will fight the Yiga clan, and one of the objectives was to reach Master Koga. Whilst I said it could be Link Koga is talking to at the beginning of the trailer, maybe it's actually Urbosa or Zelda. We do need to remember that this is a Warriors game, and will likely be partially canon, partially not, so maybe we can play this theoretical fight as whoever we like. I gotta say though, the spotlight on Koga is brilliant. I love that. It really keeps the goofy charm we know from Breath of the Wild's Koga and brings it to the Age of Calamity. The trailer then fades to black, and then we see that previously mentioned mysterious figure, with two Yiga foot soldiers kneeling to them. My guess is that this takes place within the Lost Woods, going off the thick atmosphere and dark tree designs all around. But the bigger question, why are they in the Lost Woods if so? Well, given the time frame this game is set within, we are led to believe that whilst Link first handed the Master Sword at a young age, he didn't carry it on his personnel at all times forward. It was put back into the pedestal until a time came that its divine power was needed, a time like the Calamity. We even see this in one of the other Age of Calamity trailers, where we see Link, Zelda, and the other champions travelling to the Great Deku Tree, the location in which the Blade of Evil's Bane rests. One shot outside of the location with Link not having the blade, then the next shot he does, implying when the Great Calamity struck, the hero went to retrieve the rested blade for moments like these. I believe what we are seeing here could be the Yiga, or more just the bad guy side in general, attempting to find either Link and stopping him from reaching the blade, or they are trying to reach the blade themselves and possibly use this staff to corrupt it with malice or something along those lines. Keep in mind this is purely just speculation, but definitely valid in my opinion judging off the circumstances presented. We see the mysterious figure with that staff once again, getting a better look at it. It appears to be a built mechanism, not solely just energy, but a bit of both. Likely the same technology and materials used by the Sheikah. It has a malicious pink glow to it, very similar to the glow of Ganon's malice. I honestly couldn't even begin to guess what this is used for, but to take a bash, I'd say it's both a weapon and some sort of revival staff to bring and infect stuff with malice, similar to Zant's scimitar in Twilight Princess having the ability to revive Star-Lord. We then get our first proper look at this new character. We see a pale hooded face with light to blonde hair peeking out, with a braid dangling overhead, dark rings around their eyes, a hint of red eyeshadow, and a menacing stare into the camera, along with a piece of jewellery resembling the malicious eyes of Calamity Ganon's malice. This one single shot holds a lot of questions, which we will get to with due time, but a few details to clear up first. This character is female. We can tell this mainly from the eyes and their race. We saw on the back of their cloak that they are Gerudo, emphasized by the large Gerudo logo, and we can tell by comparing eyes with other Gerudo, which are almost all female bar Ganondorf, these eyes match up rather well. Gerudo are also one of the most well-known races to wear cloaks. That, and there is only one Gerudo male, so she almost has to be female. But the big question resting with all fans is, who is this person? Well, we can't say for sure, as they say nothing throughout the trailer, and are only seen briefly, but we do have a few strong guesses to suggest. But before that, I want to say this. I do not think that this character is Vaati, Yuga, or anyone that we have seen before. Yes, they do hold a very strong resemblance to some in different aspects, but it just wouldn't make sense if you ask me. In the standard Hyrule Warrior style, sure, but remember this game is based around Breath of the Wild. For me, that alone rules out those past villains. The Fortune Teller. This is the most popular theory going around at the moment. I mean, you can literally go onto Twitter and find any Age of Calamity related post mentioning this idea. This all stems from the fact that we know there was a fortune teller prior to the events of Breath of the Wild. Someone who could see what was to come, but never informed the kingdom. Rather, allowed it to happen without any notice or time for serious preparation, leading us to believe that the fortune teller could have been evil, or was evil. There was also a theory going around that the fortune teller was Zelda's mother, but due to her unexpected death, she didn't have the time to inform anyone. Unless Zelda's mum was evil. Nah, I don't think so personally. But this person couldn't be Zelda's mother anyway, as we can see that they are associated with Ganon, connected to the Yiga, wields a weapon of Ganon's colour, and even wears a jewel of Ganon's malice. Whoever this is associated with Ganon for sure, and has been for a while. We know the royal family had a good connection with the Gerudo, however, example being the strong friendship between Urbosa and the late queen, and later Princess Zelda, meaning this person is some sort of defector, similar to the Yiga but not a Yiga themselves, as we know the Yiga originate from the Sheikah, with this new character being Gerudo. Knowing the fortune teller is someone of evil, perhaps this person is simply just the fortune teller that we never saw. It is a Hyrule Warrior games after all, as I mentioned earlier. These games are known to add new characters not ever seen in the main series. For example, Sia from the original Hyrule Warriors. She is never seen or mentioned anywhere in The Legend of Zelda, and boom, she just appeared. And that game isn't even connected to the Zelda series in any real way. Age of Calamity, however, is connected to a game. It has lore to bring in. Whilst there are other ideas, I personally believe that this is the case, that this is in fact the fortune teller we hear about but never see. This is the person behind the true horror of Calamity Ganon. That, or it's just a new character with no significance to the actual story and just there to look cool. Could totally be the case. If neither of those, perhaps this person is a communication point for the Yiga clan. We know the Yiga is following Ganon as a leader. What if this staff they carry is actually a form of communication to the malicious monster that is Ganon, giving the Yiga clan a method of communication to their leader, their god. All three of those suggestions are valid in my opinion, with the fortune teller being the most likely to me. Following this scene, the trailer just fades to black, and that is the end. There are still a few questions left, but some things are best left unanswered and left to be revealed in game. This game is truly turning out to be something special, and my question for all of you is, who do you think this mysterious figure is? Could it be the fortune teller, or is it someone else? Leave a comment below and look out for my replies. Thanks a ton for watching. I really hope you enjoyed my analysis, and if you did, be sure to drop a like to support the channel. Huge thanks to all of my channel supporters across both YouTube and Patreon. Your support enables me to make videos like this all the time, so big up to you guys. And special mention to new patrons, Shigeko and Jess. I'm sorry if I butchered that. If you'd like to get your name featured at the end of all of my videos, a shout out upon joining, and more, then consider supporting on YouTube or Patreon. Again, thanks for watching, and until the next time, I've been Hyrule Gamer.